Anyone else feel like the booster pass speculation has gotten boring as of recent? Because I have. With the majority of tracks basically being confirmed, there isn't much room to shove in your own speculation, leading to any conversations about Wave 6 feeling repetitive. While there is one track I've been wanting to talk about, most people assume one of the tracks will be one of these three on screen. And I'm here to tell you it's none of them. Hey guys, I'm not Shy Guy, and this is why Daisy Circuit will not be appearing in the Booster Course Pass. Wait, so you're telling me, less than a month after I got banned from a server for genuinely predicting Daisy Circuit, everyone starts predicting it? What? Why? The track we will be discussing today is one I've been wanting to talk about for months. This is a GCN prefix in the files. However, this does not mean it is actually gonna be a GameCube track. Moonview Highway basically deconfirmed the possibility of Mushroom Bridge, and having two GCN jungles would be awful for marketing, so this slot is likely not for Mario Kart Double Dash. This has led to the majority of the community thinking it is either Dry Ruins, Rosalina's Iceworld, or Daisy Circuit. So what do I think of each one of their chances? Starting off with Dry Ruins, considering how Nintendo just released Sunset Wilds, one of the most generic looking desert courses in the entire series, and the general negative reception of desert tracks, Dry Ruins seems extremely unlikely. Sunset Wilds is regarded as one of the worst GBA remakes, so it'd be pretty stupid to just prove the fans' point that literally any other desert track would be better by immediately adding in an objectively more well thought out desert track. Rosalina's Iceworld is probably the least popular out of any of the 3DS retros which could be added, and is often regarded as forgettable, even for a Mario Kart 7 track. If Nintendo desperately wanted to include another 3DS retro, it would make far more sense to add something such as Shy Guy Bazaar, due to its immensely higher popularity, being much better sales-wise. Shy Guy Bazaar would also most likely be a better choice than Dry Ruins, due to firstly being far more unique, not even just for a desert, but also just in general considering there's nothing else in the series like Shy Guy Bazaar. And secondly, it fills in the 3DS slot, which is the main reason why people are even predicting Rosalina's Iceworld to begin with, whilst also being as popular, if not more popular, than Dry Ruins. And now we have to talk about Daisy Circuit. After a certain Gerbiltillion, I hope I'm saying that right, I'm probably not, made a YouTube video about his Wave 6 predictions, he suggested Daisy Circuit, and then an absurdly high amount of people started to believe Daisy Circuit. Meanwhile, I'm in the minority who doesn't believe it at all. There's a lot of reasons why, so I hope you're ready for me to ramble on for quite a few minutes. Firstly, out of every course to choose as a replacement for a Double Dash slot, why would you choose one of the lesser popular courses from one of your Mario Kart games, or one of the most popular courses from another game? Airship Fortress would fit way more in Wave 6 as an example, because it was one of the most popular courses from Mario Kart DS, and it was very requested, even before DS Mario Circuit got added. Mario Circuit was likely chosen over Airship Fortress because of the massive glow-up it got in Tour, with the added forest and just general slight layout changes. Daisy Circuit, meanwhile, is identical to its appearance in Wii, with not even an added glider in the shortcut. This is also part of the reason why I don't think Daisy Circuit was made with Mario Kart 8 in mind. It was one of the last Tour courses, sure, but I assume it only looks as good as it does because the developers learned how to make better looking courses with the restriction of Tour. Secondly, this is Wave 6. Wouldn't it have made way more sense to include Daisy Circuit in Wave 5? Daisy Cruiser and Daisy Circuit wouldn't even have an issue name-wise, considering Wave 6 is guaranteed to have 2 Piranha Plant tracks. Plus, Daisy Cruiser was meant for Wave 4 anyway, and I'm sure Waluigi Stadium would have fit Wave 5 just fine considering it's more difficult than Daisy Cruiser. And this leads me right into reason number 3, Moonview Highway. Why wasn't Moonview Highway put in Wave 6 if they were going to add Daisy Circuit into Wave 6? Moonview Highway would fit the second Acorn Cup spot perfectly fine. Even looking at Koopa Cape, why would Koopa Cape be put before Daisy Circuit? Koopa Cape is arguably one of the hardest tracks in the series. Meanwhile, they put an extremely easy circuit ahead of it. Koopa Cape was ahead of Daisy Circuit in Wii and is a Lightning Cup track in Mario Kart 7, and all of that ignores Moonview Highway originally being the second Special Cup track in Wii. Moonview Highway is considered the most challenging non-Bowser Castle or Rainbow Road by Nintendo in Mario Kart Wii, a game infamous for having difficult courses. It's safe to say Daisy Circuit probably isn't as likely as most may think, but considering I just killed off a bunch of the most likely options, what could I think the GCN replacement course is? Well, I think it's N64 Frappe Snowland. Hear me out. Considering everything else I've said about Daisy Circuit, Dry Ruins, and most importantly for this track, Rosalina's Iceworld, why on earth would I think Frappe Snowland? Well, let's just go through a quick list of stuff which increases Frappe Snowland's chances. 1. N64 got the least representation in the booster pass despite its Nitro selection being just as popular as Wii's, especially thanks to nostalgia. Say what you will about the high amount of N64 tracks in Base 8, I would argue that was a smart move from Nintendo, considering the fact that the N64 selection is one of the most loved, and all 4 choices in Base 8 were huge fan favourites. Along with that, N64 still has less tracks than GBA, 3DS, Tour, Wii, and DS thanks to the booster pass. So saying N64 has too many retros is only talking about Base 8, and is very inaccurate, since it's only beating SNES and GCN if we're counting both Base 8 and the BCP. And moving over to Tour, which has so many N64 tracks, which are still yet to make it to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, with Frappe Snowland's omission being the strangest. After all, out of the N64 tracks they could choose, Frappe Snowland is by far the most popular. And even if it wasn't the most popular, because Mario Raceway exists, but it's already a raceway, so it doesn't stand a single chance, it still feels in Reason 2 pretty well. 2. Frappe Snowland is the most popular candidate for a snow track to be put into Wave 6, considering that DK Pass clashes with DK Mountain, which is in the exact same wave. Every wave excluding Wave 1 has had some sort of snow track, and considering that Wave 6 will likely release near winter, it makes sense for it to have a snow track. It would also explain why Moonview Highway is in Wave 5. It's so that Frappe Snowland can fit the winter season. Plus, Frappe Snowland is definitely harder than Daisy Circuit with the snowmen field, and just in general it has a higher number of turns. And finally 3. I guess this is sort of similar to my last point, but Frappe Snowland does not clash with many tracks in the BCP as a whole. Sure, it's snow themed, but the last time we saw a nighttime snow track was Merry Mountain, which is way different to Frappe Snowland and was 3 waves ago. Frappe Snowland's closest comparison in the booster pass is Snowland, and even then I'd say they are different enough. I'd honestly be surprised if there were people who actually thought that Snowland and Frappe Snowland were too similar to be together in the same Mario Kart game. So, for me at least, it's decided. I think N64 Frappe Snowland is the second track of the Acorn Cup. Well, so yeah, the rest of the predictions are basically identical to everyone else's. There's only so far you can go with these Wave 6 prediction videos, come on.